welcome to Salt City Knits. I'm Emily, and this is a podcast all about my making life. I'm excited to be back with you today, and I have some fun works in progress to be sharing with you. First of all, you can find me as pretty much everywhere as Salt City Knits or Yarnbrary, and all my contact information is in the description box of this video, down below this video. So definitely go and visit that. And like I said, today I don't have any finished objects to show, but I do have 3 works in progress. I'll start with a little bit life update. We'll talk about those works in progress and then some shop news. I actually don't have any book chatter today because I have just been working too much to read a lot, which, I miss, but it's okay. Oh my goodness, I can't believe we are almost at the end of July, which means going into August, which is my very busiest month of the year by triple. So I've got so much going on. And that's just because our nonprofit that we work with, Heroic Youth, this is our big month, or August is our big month where we kind of wrap up all of the trainings we've been doing, and we go into our big events, which are kind of our big culminating, our peak time of the year. And so there's lots going on as we're gearing up for that, but everything's going super well this year. Our volunteers are phenomenal, and the youth that we work with are just the best. So it's a privilege. It's a privilege to do it, but it's also exhausting. We had a big training event on Saturday. I would guess that we had somewhere around 350 people there for this training. It may have been a little bit more, but probably right around there. And in the heat, and it's all day. The training goes from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. But for us, when we're putting it on, for us, it goes from like 8 a.m. to 5 by the time we're really wrapped up and home and unloaded all of the equipment and everything. So it's a long day, but so great. Let's see what else happened this last week. My husband and my youngest, Abby, they went to a church camp, a young women's church camp, and he was there to help, and Abby was there as a participant. And they had an amazing experience, such a good time. And I thought that meant that I got vacation too, right? Like they get to go away for 4 days, 3.5 days. So that means I get to have 3.5 days of vacation time. That's not what happened. I did end up working quite a bit. I did take most of Monday off last week, and that was really nice. But then it's okay. Life kept going. And one of the things that has kept going, you know how things just happen in like a cascade of events? Everything we own is breaking, like all at the same time. It started out about 2.5 weeks ago. Abby's car started having trouble. And, excuse me, it's an old car. We drive paid for older vehicles. And because my husband is an amazing mechanic, that's what he does professionally and has for 35 years. He is an excellent mechanic. So he keeps our cars running, which is fantastic. It means we don't have car payments and pretty much never have. But occasionally everything breaks at the same time. So Abby's car, her clutch went out and it needs a radiator. So the great news is we still have 3 other vehicles. By the way, if you do not live in the Western, well, even Midwestern and Western United States, it might be kind of foreign for you to have that many vehicles for a family. When you live in this big of an area like this, everything is so widespread. Nothing is walkable. Everything is designed for driving. Everything's far apart. So my husband has his truck that he drives. I have my car. And then we have another car that both my kids, both Isaac and Abby, could drive. But then when Abby graduated, her sister gave her her older car. So Abby has her own car. So one of our cars just kind of has been sitting. Because of that, it was great. Abby could drive that other car while we were waiting for Richard to be able to get the time to fix her car. And so it wasn't as high of a priority. It didn't feel like as big of a deal. But then my car broke down. And my car broke down 2 days before Richard was leaving to go out of town and taking the other car. So that was going to leave just the truck. And I don't drive the truck. The truck is a old, crotchety, cantankerous beast. And I don't drive that if I can at all avoid it. It's the kind of thing where like you have to roll down the window in order to be able to muscle open the door from the outside. I mean, it's kind of crazy stuff. I don't like to drive that thing. But again, the blessing is that Richard's work, where he works, they actually had a loaner car that I've been able to drive for the last week. So I've had a car still. So even though there's difficult things breaking, things have worked out. But then while they were gone, actually, no, also the same day my car broke down, our garbage disposal apparently was dead and it started leaking. That drain started pouring water that it took us a little bit to catch underneath our kitchen sink. So then we needed to repair that, at which point our dishwasher broke down. So yeah, at that point I started to be like, what is going on? What in the actual world is happening? 2 cars, the dish disposal or the garbage disposal in our sink, which by itself is not a tragedy, but the fact that it was leaking water, because it's also the drain. So then the plumbing, is an issue. And then the dishwasher, which again, in and of itself, not a huge tragedy, except for it kept standing water in it. So we had to deal with that, right? It's not just about the conveniences. It's also about the potential water issues. And Richard has been able, we think, to fix that. I mean, it's draining now. I ran a load of dishes last night. I haven't yet checked to see if everything went kosher, but no water leaked everywhere. So that's good. And then Richard's truck started having issues. And now it needs a radiator too. So I'm not sure exactly what lessons I'm supposed to be learning from all of this. But it really would be nice if things like this happened at the more convenient times of life. But when actually is that? There is no more convenient time. And I feel like, knocking on wood, that nothing else is going to break. But I'm a little nervous about it. I have a hair in my mouth. Sorry if I've been talking kind of weird. I feel like I've had a fuzzy, like a yarn fuzzy or a hair or something in my mouth. So I just hopefully got it taken care of, and I won't be like messing with it. I don't know if I even was. If I was, it was subconscious. So that's been a lot of fun. We've just had lots going on with trying to get things fixed. And so when we're in our busiest time of the year and Richard's been gone out of town, he's had lots of fun with lots of things to fix. I'm not super helpful in that arena, unfortunately. But crossing our fingers that we're at the end of the breaking. That's really the main stuff that's been going on. My health journey is going great. I'm down 33 pounds and counting. And I had a doctor's appointment last week. I do not have my blood test results back, but we are testing to see how my blood sugar levels are doing. I was diagnosed as diabetic right around the same time I began this health journey. And so that fuzzy is still there. Oh my goodness. That's literally the worst feeling. If you get like a fuzz or something in your mouth, I just keep feeling it. Ugh. Hopefully it's gone. What was I talking about? And my mind is blank. Blank, blank, blank. That is okay. I was talking about my blood sugar. Yes, so I was diagnosed as type 2 diabetic right around the time that I started my health journey. I think it was right after. I kind of knew. I knew, but that was, yeah. Anyway. So we're checking to see how my my A1C and my blood sugar has improved over the last, it's 4 months now. Yeah, it's been 4 months. So that's amazing. I'm so proud of myself and just feeling like things are going really well. So let's talk about works in progress. Now, I don't think I showed any of these before, but I might have. We'll see. So I started off with, I got to finish up the month of July with my red, white, and blue. So I am knitting a pair of these socks right here. These fun self-striping socks. This yarn is from one of my favorite self-striping yarn dyers, and it is, oh, if I can hold things correctly, PNW Pearls, which I'm assuming is Pacific Northwest. And this is on their Snoqualmie base, which is an 80/20 merino nylon with 400 yards to 100 grams. And this is Stars and Stripes Forever. And it's so fun because the blue has that little white speckle through it. I am not doing any contrast on the heels, toes, or cuffs. I'm just enjoying letting it happen. I did, I think it ended up being about 23 rounds of 2x2 ribbing. It was just until the color change. And I'm knitting these for one of my Bigfoot boys. I don't know if they'll be for Isaac or for my son-in-law, Michael. But either way, this is a 72 stitch sock and I'm knitting it on 2.25 millimeter needles. And I think I did roughly 85 rounds for the leg once I had completed the cuff. But it was close to that. And then I switched when the color changed again. And, I just really am liking, it's kind of fun how that heel turned out. Doesn't that look good? It's fun. So these are just great. These are sit in a meeting to work on them, just stockinette socks. So I can, again, do it while I'm in a meeting. I took them to church yesterday and knit during our women's class that I went to yesterday, and just they're fun, but also not holding my attention super well. I'm not going to finish them by the end of July. Today's the 20th. I don't know, maybe no, because I'm on my first sock and I have other things that I'm also working on. So that's okay. Not in a rush. They won't be for use this July anyway. Whether or not they'll be worn in July ever, considering how hot it gets here. But those are coming along well, and it's just, again, a really fun yarn. I actually knit myself a pair of socks out of the same yarn. When I bought this yarn, I bought 2 skeins because I just thought it was so fun. And so I am just working away on those. I made this bag a couple of years ago, and I just think it turned out so cute. Red, white, and blue and denim. I mean, it's kind of just a big win all around. All right, my second whip is also a pair of socks. And this, I was going to use this yarn to make a shawl or scarf with for Christmas in July. But in the end, I decided to knit socks as well. And this is a new design that I am working on. So I'm going to give you a little preview, which it's not much of a preview because lace never looks great before it's blocked. But I've got this lacy pattern, these little swoops of lace in columns that I am working on. And it's a really fun, easy to memorize Oh, here, you can see the lace a little better if I don't know. There you go. It's really interesting because in the camera, this swoop of darker red is way more pronounced, yeah, than it is when I just look at it in person. I mean, you can see it, but it's quite subtle in person, and there on the camera, it looks quite dramatic, how it kind of is spiraling down. This yarn is from Yarn Cafe Creations, and it is it was a one-off color. I bought a sweater's quantity of this yarn from Christy at one point. So I think there were 6 skeins that I bought all at the same time. And I used 5 of them to make a sweater. And I'll talk about that sweater a little bit later. But I had one left over. So it's just so perfectly Christmassy. Isn't that just lovely? Very pretty. It doesn't need to be Christmassy. It's just a beautiful red. But I think the fact that it has those little flecks of green in it gives it that Christmassy flavor. So really fun though. So those are coming along, and that's how far I've gotten. I've finished the heel flap, the turn, and the gusset, and I just got back to my original stitch count. And so that's where that one is sitting. These are also on a 2.25 millimeter needle, but this is a 64 stitch sock, so it's a medium. So those are going along. They're fun, but they're a little less, mindless. I have to pay attention and taking notes and things like that as well, since I'm designing that. And I'm very excited about the next work in progress that I have, because I just cast it on last night. So I think I showed this yarn a little bit ago. This is a new base that I'm trying out, and it is a 50-50 cotton merino blend. And it gets this lovely little touch of heathering there in the color. It's very soft. It's got the breathability. Well, wool is very breathable too, but it's got that lightweight, not quite as warm with the 50% cotton, and it's going to get a little drape because of that. But it also has a little bit of bounce, which you're going to get from the wool, which you don't really get at all from cotton. It heathers slightly because of the fact that the wool and the cotton take up the dye differently. I use fiber reactive dyes on this one, so the cotton did take some of that dye, but it's set with acid like you do with wool. And so the wool took the dye perfectly. The cotton took it lighter. And so you get a little bit of heathering to it. So I've had that set aside, wanting to make another summer cardigan, and I just hadn't gotten to it. And last night I was like, wait, now is my time. Now is the time to begin. Where is the opening page? Oh, I know where it is. So the pictures on this are divided up, but this is the Ochre cardigan by Amba O'Brien. And it's a quite simple raglan shape, cardigan with this lace detail at the hem and at the edge of the sleeve. It's a more cropped length, or at least very much a waist length. And it's fingering weight, which is what I wanted. And I thought that would be perfect. It's originally designed with linen in mind. I'm going with cotton, as you can tell. But I just thought that was a lovely, pretty, feminine cardigan to try out. And so I cast it on, and it's just cast on last night. So this is what I've got. It's just my little cast on and then the beginning of my increases. I've never knit an Amba O'Brien pattern, but she has so many patterns. I see them all the time. And I've had this one in my favorites for some time. And so I'm excited to try it out. And something that I am going to definitely take into account that I love that she did is she has a progress table for every size that shows you which increases you're working on which rows. That is something that can be, I don't know, maybe confusing, but it's just a lot to keep track of. Am I increasing at the neckline? And am I increasing on both sides of my raglan line? Am I increasing only on one side of my raglan line? What's happening on this row? And so she goes through and charts out every right side row for the entire yoke and tells you for that row which increases you're working. So, you know, in a separate place, she tells you like what the instructions are for your front increases, your yoke or raglan increases, etc. But then you've got row 1, these are the increases. Row 3, these are the increases. 5, these are the increases. And it's really great for my brain, a chart-loving brain, to be able to, at a glance, be able to see what is required on that row. I could go back and read it line by line by line, but every time I work a neck increase, I know what that stitch is. And every time I work a raglan increase on either side of the raglan marker, I know what that stitch is. And so this way I don't have to keep reading through all the extra details, which my brain doesn't like to do that. So I really like it when I can just glance at something and go, oh, yep, I'm putting them in all the places, or I'm putting them in just these 2 or just these 4. And I really, really like that. What is with the fuzzies? Where are they coming from? You'd think I'd been knitting with mohair all day. No mohair today. All right. Was there anything else I wanted to say about that? I don't think so, because I've just begun. Oh, I can say I'm knitting it on a size 5 needle, which is a, what is that, 3.75? I think that's 3.75, isn't it? Where are you? There you are. Yeah, 3.75 millimeter, which is a US number 5, size 5. And that's the recommended size. And I got gauge, so with that, so I'm excited to do that. And I believe there's no actual ribbing in this. It's only a size 5 through the whole thing. But I'll have either a smaller, I'll probably just magic loop actually when it comes to the sleeves and just use that needle all the way through. So I'm excited to be working on that. Again, it is a lot of stockinette because the lace doesn't come in till the hem. And so, but at least with this, I've got the interest of paying attention to the increases and so on, which I like. All right. So I told you I was going to talk more about this sweater, the yarn with this sweater. So it's actually part of a bigger thing I wanted to share, which is, I think it was 2 episodes ago, I was talking about how I was feeling overwhelmed with all of the finished items that I have, the finished knitted items in my house, the number of sweaters and socks and shawls and everything that was here, whether it was stuff that I had set aside for gifts or things that I had in my own closet or things that I have designed that I've held on to the original sample and they've kind of stacked up, just that kind of a thing. So I actually went through, I didn't pull out all the things that I have already set aside for gifts, but I went through primarily this room in here, the piles that had started to pile up. What the heck? Honestly, it's embarrassing. And I went through my closet and my drawers and I pulled out everything and put it on my bed and started to sort through it. So I have some video to put in here, just a little bit. This is very casual of me, just in the moment. I hadn't pre-planned filming this or anything. I just was like, decided to do it and I just started doing it. So here's some video. I just pulled out all of my hand knits. These are my hand knit sweaters, my socks, my shawls, cowls, and it's everything that I have had in my closet, in my drawers, and also a ton of stuff I've had stashed away for gift knitting, and it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, I'm gonna show you guys. Look at this mountain of stuff. I mean, you guys, what am I supposed to do? Hey, a couple of these are gifts. Like this is a gift. Anyway, there's some gifts in here, but there's a lot of stuff here, and I am not using all of this, and I have to now sort through it and figure out what is going to become things that I'm going to keep, what's going back into my closet and my drawers. That bag is all full of shawls that I already know I want to give away. What is going to stay, what's going in the gift knits, and what else do I need to get rid of and how? Oh my gosh, I am really overwhelmed. Forgive the background noise of my air conditioner, but I've got some sorting done. So this pile and this pile are all things that I have designed that I kind of want to keep the original, I don't know, at least for now, I'm keeping the originals of. And then these 3 piles and this bag are all shawls and cowls. I've got a couple hats here, headbands, mittens, socks that are gifts. They're in the gift pile. And then these are all of my socks. I think these are all ones I'm getting ready to retire. Shorties that I'm wondering if my girls will want because I don't usually wear them. And then all the other socks. Over here, I have things I am ready to rehome or reclaim the yarn for. And then this huge pile on my quilt stand are my cardigans and sweaters that I'm planning on keeping. So we've gotten somewhere. I'm still not sure with the shawls which ones I'm going to keep. Those are shawls that are, some of them are brand new, never worn, that will definitely become gifts. Some of them are ones that I've had for quite a while but that I don't wear. So yeah, again, needing to sort through, but I feel like I don't want to make a lot more stuff until I can get this situation under control. It's just too much. Also, see that air conditioner unit right there next to my bed? Best investment ever. So in the end, I did end up deciding what was going back into my closet, into my dresser, what was going officially into like the gift knits pile, and looking for opportunities to give those, because I keep having this idea that I'm going to pile things into the gift knits, and then anytime I need a gift, I'll just go there and pull one out. The only problem is I realize when it comes time to do that, I never remember to check it. And in addition to that, it feels overwhelming to me because there's so many things. So how do I choose? And what if it's not the right thing for the right person? And I'm like, okay, I've got to stop doing this. I've got to pre-plan, look at my gift knits and start going, no, this is going to go to this person. This is going to this person, and pre-plan it. Oh, it's kind of ridiculous, honestly. So the other thing I did figure out is I have some shawls that I don't think I'll gift because they are ones that I've worn more. And I don't want to give something that's really used as a gift. You know what I mean? But I might give away, if that makes sense. I think there's a reason that we all started using gift as a verb, because it's the difference between giving something and gifting it. Like I could give you a cold, but I won't gift you a cold, right? Okay. And I also have some things that, like I know a couple of my girls want to go through, and I just haven't done it yet, but then I have some sweaters I am going to reclaim the yarn for, which means I'm going to unravel them. And I know so many people, like when I said I was going to unravel, there was another sweater that we unraveled and I can't remember which one it was. And people were like, why would you unravel that? You could give it as a gift. I could, but I want the yarn. I knit it. I enjoyed knitting it. Now I want the yarn and I'm going to knit it again. So I have a few of those things and I'm sure I'll show those in the future. I basically have a whole like reusable fabric shopping bag full of sweaters to unravel. And I think there's 6 cardigans, 6 cardigans and a pullover sweater. The pullover sweater is the one that I'm not sure if I'm going to do it because it's mohair and fingering weight sock yarn held together. But I just don't, in fact, you know what? Let me go grab it really quick. Well, here's the thing about this sweater. It's a gorgeous sweater. The design is stunning. This is a sweater that I knit a few years ago. It is the, oh gracious, my mind is going to go blank, isn't it? It's by Amy Loudon, who is And Other Knits. I know what this is. What is it? Is it a Whitmore? I think it's a Whitmore. It's absolutely beautiful. I love the color. This is my Austin colorway. And I held it, again, a single strand of sock weight held with a strand of mohair. The problem is I don't wear pullover sweaters. I am too hot-blooded of a person to be able to handle, especially a mohair sweater, all the time. I'm a cardigan girl. I just am. And maybe that will change a little bit the more I lose weight. I hope it will because I want to knit pullovers, but I never wear this. And in addition, I knit it quite long because I tend to wear long shirts. So I don't know if anybody else would want, in my, like that's my size, would want this long, like tunic length Whitmore. It's a Whitmore. It's so beautiful. And now I really will have fuzz. It really is a stunning, stunning sweater, but I just have never enjoyed wearing it. And again, nothing to do with the pattern. It's just me. Fuzz. So, but I don't know if that one would unravel. So, I don't know. Does anybody have any recommendations on that one? Talk to me. I'm tall, so that would be a long sweater on somebody. But the great news about all of this is I feel so much lighter having sorted through things. My sock drawer is more manageable. The socks that I pulled out were worn out socks, or ones that honestly didn't fit right. They just were never my favorite socks. They're the ones I just really didn't wear, but they were in there. And so those are pulled out. I'm excited to have the rest of my red yarn back. That cardigan, the issue with that is I just never really liked how it fit. It's a little bit, it was already a little too big, and it's for sure way too big now, and mostly all through the shoulders. And it's a top down. So like, it's not a fix that I could do. There's another one that, I don't know. I'm not going to go through them all right now, but all I can say is I will talk about them when it comes time that I'm actually going to start unraveling them and reclaiming that yarn. So that's going to be quite the process. But I'm not afraid of it. I think it'll be great. And then I'll have some gorgeous new yarn because they're all beautiful, beautiful yarns that I love. All right, let's talk. Like I said, I don't have any book chat today, but I did finish Anne of Green Gables and I've started Anne of Avonlea. I also finished Wayward by Amelia Hart. I don't know what I think about that book. I don't remember. I think I already talked about that though. It was a man-hating book. I'm not a big fan. I mean, it's one thing when, apparently I do have book chatter. It's one thing to have characters that you're dealing with, and there are definitely issues to deal with, but there was not a single man maybe one tiny side character guy in that entire book that wasn't the scum of the earth. And it was entirely a book about being a victim. And it wasn't my thing. It just wasn't my thing. I kind of liked the fantasy earth mother witchy vibes to it. It's definitely a book about kind of, I don't know, witches. Yes. It had some vibes like practical magic to a certain extent. But it just, it was fine. I finished it. I won't ever read it again. It's all good. So apparently I did have book chatter, but let's talk about shop news. All right. First of all, since today is July 28th, that means there's just a couple days left for my Christmas in July pattern sale. This is happening on Ravelry, and it's a sale where you add any 3 patterns to your cart from my shop, any paid for of my 3 patterns in my shop. And one of them will be free. If anybody tried to use that when I talked about this last time and it wasn't working, there was a little issue. I fixed it within the day. So go back and try again and it will work. That includes my newest release of the Layton shawl and all my patterns that are there. So definitely take advantage of that because that is ending in just a couple of days. All right, next up, I shipped out all of the July clubs for the Shire clubs, all the July packages. And so if you have not received or opened yours, please look away. Okay, look away. All right, here is what July's colorway looked like, and it is called Gandalf's Fireworks. This was a really fun one to dye. I love how it turned out, and I love that contrast mini skein a lot. Okay, that picture is gone. You can look back. So the listings for the August club will be up by the time this video posts, and this is the name of the August club on my screen. I can't remember it off the top of my head, so I'm putting the name here. This club will ship by the end of August. Instead of normally it's the 25th of the month, this time it's going to be by the end of August just because I need to fit in my big events for Heroic Youth as well. And so it will probably go out the last week in August. So if you are interested, go and join up there. Also starting not in August, but coming up in September, I will have You've Got Mail, the Shop Around the Corner club will be back. I still have some spots for the Beauty of the Earth Fall Minis box. And this is so fun to be planning and preparing for you. It is a faith-based box that includes a devotional for each day, as well as a mini skein for you to open. That is starting on November 1st. So you open one each day of November. It's a great way to kick off that month of gratitude and focus on all the beautiful gifts that we have from God. It will include an original and exclusive shawl pattern, as well as some fun little extras to go along with those 7 mini skeins and the daily devotionals. And those are available in my shop. And to that end, I am looking for some test knitters. I just need a few who are not doing that box because I need to test knit the design for it. And I have it ready. Well, it's going to need a couple more days of work on the formatting, but that pattern is just about ready to go out to test knitters. I require that my test knitters have Instagram accounts and use Instagram Messenger. So messages specifically. So if you are interested, go to Instagram and send me a direct message at my Salt City Knits account and let me know you would be interested in test knitting that design. It's a 7 mini skein design. So you'll need 7 coordinating minis, 20 gram minis in fingering weight yarn to do that. And that test knit will start probably Monday, August, is that the 4th? Yeah, Monday, August 4th. So I just need just a few testers. I think that is all of my shop news. So thank you for joining me today. This is a little bit shorter of an episode, but there's nothing wrong with that. And I'm super excited to come back and show you more progress on my works in progress, maybe some unraveling, and yeah, we'll talk again very soon. I hope you have so much fun with all of your making. Bye-bye.